Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and today we're back for another brand new video. That's right, it's finally time for a new video, and unlike the last couple under Giovanni, we're not here to talk about a win, but ladies and gentlemen, we went away to Lyon and our undefeated streak continues as we got a very interesting 1-1 scoreline away from home. Now some people might label this as a dead rubber or anything for the game doesn't matter, but again to me, you know where I stand with that one. There's no dead rubbers or walking about when you play in a Rangers shirt. Whenever you're given an opportunity to play in that bad, you better go ahead and grab your opportunity or try and make an impression of some sort to try and keep you wearing that shirt upon weeks. And we saw under Giovanni, he did give certain players an opportunity to shine and really make an impression. I think that's what we're going to be talking about a lot, to see who did and who unfortunately didn't. And can I just say, by the way, the fact that some of us are sitting here right now with mixed emotions about that game, some promising, some negative, some happy thoughts, some sad thoughts, but there is some disappointment sprinkled on the top of that bad boy that we didn't come away with the actual win. Again, the 3 points wouldn't have mattered in terms of the group or anything like that, but a win could have been there for Rangers tonight, and I absolutely love the fact that some of us can actually feel like this, because that was a Lyon team, people, who at that point was 5 out of 5 coming into this game, the only team in the Europa League to win all of their games, going into the last game looking to make some Europa League history for themselves, blah blah blah, but this Rangers team went nah, and again it's us that's disappointed that we didn't get the actual win in itself. So, alright, if I'm going to say anything in today's video, that's probably it, ladies and gentlemen. That's how far we've came already under Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, that we can go away to Lyon, make drastic changes to our squad, yet be disappointed we didn't get the win. Compare and contrast how we feel and how we're playing and how we're looking under Giovanni to where we were before he came in, when we were all on our knees, absolutely devastated after that semi-final. And can I just say, what a job that man is doing. Now, cheeky Twitter memes and all that to one side, let's go on and talk about this game of football then, shall we? Because again, there is some things that we need to discuss about where players are, who's impressed, who didn't, and I'll probably annoy a lot of people with what I'm going to say in today's video. But let's start the game off properly then, shall we, with the first major opportunity, which unfortunately for us did end up coming for the opposition in Lyon just in the 10th minute of this game, where it's a long ball in behind the Rangers defence. And again, the changes that was made to the defence was only Nathan Patterson out there, but it wasn't actually him that was a bit slack with his offside trap. In fact, if you go back and look at it, it's very good work for Barisic, Goldson and our boy Nathan Patterson stepping up at the right time. It's just Calvin Bassey who's a split second with the actual move. And again, I'm not digging him out or saying he was poor or anything like that. You're expecting that for a laddie that's 21 years old and who's a left back playing out of position and barely played in the role, versus a centre forward again who's went ahead and done some things in football. And Dembele just steps off him, but Bassey again, that split second too late, and that gives Moussa Dembele the opportunity to go 1v1 with the goalkeeper. But thankfully, people, that man didn't add to his tally as he absolutely fluffs it 1v1. He got the fear when he looked in John McLaughlin's eyes, people, as he just mishits the ball completely. And again, he will not be adding to the tally that was talked up pre-game of the 7 goals he scored versus Rangers. But again, I'm pretty sure Sandanza would have scored at least 3 versus the Rangers defence it was cutting about back then. But moving away from that massive chance for Moussa Dembele, it was actually us with the next opportunity after about a 10-minute spell where we started to get on the ball, we started to dictate the tempo just a little bit, and we could see the outball as Ryan Kent was on that wing again. And that in itself, I'm sorry if you're getting bored hearing me talking about it, but seeing Ryan Kent and everything stretch teams out and actually spreading the play out and everything like that is sensational. No, see him coming in and having to pass and recycle and wait for the fullbacks. No, this is the benefits, and we're seeing them already, because the ball gets whipped right to Ryan Kent, who's got chalk on his old boots, the old Neil McCann, if you want, ladies and gentlemen. And what he does next is brilliant, as he just gets his defender 1v1, nutmegs him, and then hits a beautiful through ball to Kamaru, who is about 30 yards out, or maybe just 25 yards out, whatever it is. It has a little glance at the goalkeeper as he's running on the ball, and he tries to just bend it round him with his left foot, and it actually ends up hitting the outside of the post. Some people saying, oh, do you think how do we look at the goalkeeper and if he's meaning this or is it miss it? Of course he's meaning it. You can see him have a wee bit of glance, and that is what he brings you, that ability and what we miss, and maybe physicality and winning in free kicks and holding the ball up, we get with things like that. Balls in behind, you have a snapshot and it nearly takes a lead in the game. But I'm going to be honest with you people, the poster barely stopped shaking before Lyon had their next opportunity. Again, it was a long ball in behind the Rangers defence trying to get Dembele, but John McLaughlin reads it very, very well. Does a wee punch up in the air here. I'm not sure what he's trying to do. Maybe he's trying to be a wee bit too cocky and maybe flip it up, then catch it himself. Whatever that. But anyway, he does well initially to beat Dembele to the ball. No give away the penalty kick or anything like that. But it ends up dropping to Nkembe, and you're thinking to yourself, oh, here we go, man. He's going to do something here because we know he's got the quality. We saw it at Ibrox. But even this here, even though it'll be boring to some people, is the difference in this Giovanni Rangers team. Because what happened when Nkembe got the ball outside the box? We swarmed at him. The midfield came out of nowhere. The winger came back. And we swarmed them, and after some good work from Calvin Bassey, there was no chance for him to have a shot, even though John McLaughlin was out of position. That high press, aggressive nature that has been lacking all season long. Pre-Gio was there to be seen in that moment. It wasn't even a highlight to a lot of people. You've probably forgotten about it, but to me, I love to see that, the aggression, how quickly we suffocated and tried to stop that shot. But troops, as I do normally get happy when I talk about Ryan Kent with the old chalk on his boots, let's go ahead and talk about it again then, shall we? Because in the 41st minute of this game, after again some lacklustre play where if you fell asleep you're probably dreaming a better game, but again you just give the ball to Ryan Kent and he can provide this spark to get us gone, and that's exactly what he does. The ball comes out to him again wide, which brings two people out to him, and that creates a gap. And shout out Glenn Kamara as well, by the way. I thought he was getting a wee bit of a nosebleed for being that far forward, but the laddie jogs on, he wants the ball played, and Ryan Kent just lifts it over the two defenders. Brilliant for Ryan Kent. And you talk about brilliant, let's talk about what Saucy Glenn done next, ladies and gentlemen, because this right here is straight out the Ryan Kent Hall of Fame book, because the move that he done as he go into the box was the exact move that Ryan Kent done to retire Lustig and send that 10-in-a-row police officer on his bike. It's the exact same move that he cut back to pass to Ryan Jack, who scored in between Scott Brown's leg. This time though, Glenn Kamara cuts back, brings it out to the park. I think he's just missed Lundstrom here. I don't know who he's actually aiming for, but anyway, it drops to Scotty right, and you're just screaming, shoot, shoot, and then you remember, oh, we're under Giovanni now, the players have the licence to shoot, and Scotty Wright shoots, and it's another deflected goal, very reminiscent of Joe Aribo's goal just at the weekend there. But again, I couldn't care less. If you shoot, you'll score, and that's another evidence of it. It doesn't matter how it goes into the back of it, as long as it actually does. And we take the lead in the 41st minute, and for me, I think we actually deserved it based on the first half. We were bossing every stat and every statistic, and we were moving it swiftly over the park. And that's without the likes of Joe Rebo or anything on the part, the guys who's been the driving force in our team. So we went into half time, and I was absolutely delighted. But unfortunately, people, there was a half time sub. After months and months of praying certain games, wanting to see half time subs, the one game that I actually think we're dominating in every stat and shouldn't change, we end up making a change. It's probably how it actually goes. And what happened was Glenn Kamara came off, which brought Stephen Davis on, which again, I've got nothing against Stephen Davis. You know I absolutely love that man rotten. However, not the biggest fan of him and Lundstrom playing together. Not at all. I thought Lundstrom was looking very good alongside Glenn Kamara. I thought that was working very, very well. But again, I've now seen Lundstrom and Stephen Davis play at the same time, and again, I just didn't like it. I feel like they're going at the same positions. They want to try and do the exact same thing, and it just doesn't gel well at all. But in saying that, I don't think you can look at either one of them and blame them for the equaliser that came pretty much straight from the kickoff, as it happened just after the 46th minute of the game. And the ball gets switched out to Barisic's side, and I've been very, very positive about how well he's defended. And for me, he still looks a different player. The stats and that are there, showing his interception, his blocks, his clearances. But the one thing that he's not doing well with still, unfortunately, is stopping the actual crosses. Again, a guy just runs him, he beats him far, far too easy. He's even got Ryan Kent there to back him up, so he maybe should lunge at that or anything like that a wee bit early, because he's got Ryan Kent as the backup. But no, he stays on his feet too long. The ball comes in, it hits Calvin Bassey and goes in to the back of net. So everything I said pretty much about our goal, about if you shoot, you sometimes make your luck and everything. Well, this isn't a shot, this is a low dangerous cross. But again, just like Joe Aribo's goal at the weekend there, when he drilled it across versus Dundee, you asked the defenders a question, and unfortunately Calvin Bassey didn't have the right answer in this occasion. And To me, if you're being overly critical, you maybe want him reacting just a little bit quicker than that. But again, I'm not going to tear out the laddie or call him. I thought he had another very, very good game. Some people maybe missed the match or anything like that. Maybe you're just clicking here and you hear me talking about the offside, that he obviously kept Dembele on for, and then the own goal, you might be, oh, he's had a bad game. No, he actually had a very, very good game. There were so many incidences that I won't be able to talk about in today's video of him blocking and getting the right getting the right touch on it, winning a ball in the air, just out muscling someone. That doesn't really come up because it's not really highlights, but this occasion, maybe a wee bit flat-footed, hits off him, it's 1-1, and you think to yourself, they didn't deserve that. But after the goal, it's got to be said, it looked like Lyon was the only team for the next 15-20 minutes that actually wanted to go ahead and win this game, as they went close with a shot that was well kind of saved by, well blocked, by Connor Goulton, and then you had a header just go on just a little bit wide, and you're thinking, alright now, let's get some changes, and again, we didn't have stresses with that one, because the changes came at the right time as our boy Bacuna came on, and so did Scotty Arfield. The players going off, by the way, was of course Hadji and our boy Scott Wright, who did score the opening goal. And again, for me, Scott Wright plays well, but Scott Wright is that type of player. I think he's an impact player. I think he's a burst player. I think the longer you leave him, the worse he actually gets in a game. I think he starts games off brilliantly, comes off the bench brilliantly, but again, the longer the kind of plateaus from there. So I'm very confident, very happy as Scott Wright as a Rangers player to inject that when we need it. But again, did he do enough to make me think, oh, Hadji needs to be dropped, Joe Rebo needs to drop, Ryan Kent needs to be dropped because Scott Wright scored that goal? No for me. So again, he remains where he is on the list. And then we ended up making another change as Joe Rebo finally came on the park, but he came on the park for Kamal Roof, and for me, this is one of these ones that's going to keep me up the night, because I thought the second we took a centre forward off the park, I think it made Bacuna look a hell of a lot worse than he actually is, because he's not the type of player that plays with his back towards goal with defenders on him, who's going to turn and be able to link up play. That's not his game at all, people. This is a centre attacking midfielder who likes to run at people and everything like that. So to me, I think he looked pretty poor the night when he was pushed up forward, but again, that's not his role at all, people, so I'm not going to be too overly critical of our boy Bacuna, because he'll never ever play as a centre forward again. But believe it or not, Bacuna was a part of my favourite moment in the second half, and it came in the 82nd minute of this game as Lyon has a corner. Bacuna goes on one post, Stephen Davis on the other post. Oh my god, tears in the eyes, people. We have people on the post for set pieces. Now, yes, it's unfortunate that putting people on the post made our defenders forget to actually jump up and header the ball, as they nearly scored that forced another corner. But you get what you get when you put someone on the post, and you talk about instant gratification, instant just karma for actually doing what we all want and putting someone on the post. Well, from the second corner, the ball comes in. Again, the defenders aren't doing anywhere near good enough with the ball in the air, but the ball goes to where it's been gone 8 times this season. That little spot at the post that has cost us so many goals, but Stephen Davis is there, and Stephen Davis clears it off the line. Oh my god, I'm getting emotional. But I promised myself I wouldn't make this about a 15-20 minute video just talking about the fact we now have put people on the post or anything like that. So the proof's in the pudding. If you saw the game, you saw us stop a freaking goal. So let's keep that continuing, people. Now, speaking of continuing, let's talk about Nathan Parson, because we haven't spoken about him yet. A lot of people love this laddie in hell. I love him as well. A lot of people want him to start here, James Tavernier. I'm not one of those guys, and I get a lot of crap for it online and people digging me out and everything like that. But again, to me, I thought he was very good tonight. I think you could see what he's all about. I still think he's a hell of a lot rough, but he's so positive with the ball. He always tries to make things happen. And I think the word tries there summarises the game for me, where I think he tried a little bit too hard. In the 84th minute of the game, after a fantastic run, he's done the hard part now. Pass the ball off. There's people in the box. I think at this occasion we had 4 people in the box, and this came with an overlap on the right, and Joe Rebo at the back post completely by himself. But Nathan Parson tries a shot that, I don't know, kind of hits the board on, and I thought, again, trying a wee bit too hard to make the impression to try and jump up and take the Tavernier spot, because every single time Tavernier plays there's an assist or a goal. So can you imagine the pressure that's on Nathan Patterson to try and bridge that gap? So I'm not going to be too overly critical of him, but again, it did have a couple of iffy moments where it looked to me like he was trying too hard. Still poor with the decision making and that as well, and we will speak about that lastly in today's video. But before we talk about that, there was another major opportunity in the game, and it came in the 92nd minute, which probably could and should have won the actual game for us. And it's no surprise it starts with Connor Goldson's wonderful long diagonal. Again, dropping that, he honestly drops back and he drops that ball on a sixpence like his name is Tom Brady, people, and it just finds Joe Rebo. Brilliant run, brilliant first touch. It's just unfortunate the goalkeeper is smart save. And again, I know Alan McCoy was talking on BT Sport that if he goes down for the contact, he's getting a penalty there. But for me, I think the shot's already gone, so I think if he then goes down, it doesn't matter in my opinion. So very, very good save for the goalkeeper. And you're thinking, oh, that was the last chance in the game. We should have scored. We should have won that game. Well, people, it wasn't the last chance in the game because we get the ball back. Once again, Lundstrom wins the ball back very, very well. The ball then comes out to Nathan Patterson on his right-hand side, in the right-hand side of Rangers, and he starts running backwards and running backwards and running backwards, and then instead of going for the safe option, he tries a no-look outside of the fit pass inward. I think he's trying to get Stephen Davis here. I might be wrong with the positioning, but I know he tries a no-look outside of the fit pass to the midfield that's well read by Lyon. It puts them through on goal, and then John McLaughlin has to make a very, very smart save. Now, is it right in the corner or anything like that? Is it McGregor-esque? Not really, people, but again, the goalie was there when he was needed, and he was needed after that poor mistake for your boy Nathan Patterson. But that's all part and parcel of the game. The guy's a young lad. He'll be having highs, he'll be having lows. It's just a part of the old thing. But I was impressed with McLaughlin again. He came in. We're talking about people who took that step up again. Nathan Patterson done nothing to suggest to me that he should be starting over James Tavernier. Scott Wright didn't do enough for me. Bakuna never done enough for me. McLaughlin is what McLaughlin is. I thought he had a very good save versus Slimani in the 78th minute as well from a wider angle. And again, in that moment when he needed him in the last minute of the game. Right place at the right time, makes it look easy, but that's down to positioning in that as well for me. So, aye, the conversation is always going to be there for the goalkeeper, but you know where I'll lean with that one. It's McGregor for me, always. My phone had cut off there because it's low battery. Again, I forgot to charge it. I do apologise, people, but as always, we'll go to that part of today's video where I'm not only asking you right now on the old YouTube verse to let me know your thoughts and opinions on the game. Are you happy? Are you sad? Who impressed you? Do you think the exact opposite to me? Do you think someone from that who was given an opportunity took that step up? Let me know down in the comment section below. Again, you didn't need to agree with me that I've said this player didn't do this or that. I'm usually wrong anyway, so how did you see the game? And that's exactly what I asked Twitter, so let's see. Well, you guys let me know down in the comments on YouTube what the people on Twitter's had to say. And the first one comes in from Graham Wilson, and he writes in, I get Patterson's still young, but if Tad Take two. But if Tav did what he did tonight, people would be screaming for him to be dropped. But we move on to Sunday. You're probably right there, Graham. That's kind of the way it actually works. Jay writes in, the fact we managed to get a few of our players game time they wouldn't normally get. I'll take the 1-1. You could tell it was a meaningless game for both teams. Ali writes in, proud of the Rangers tonight, professional overall performance. Stephen Smith writes in, Davis on the post. Davis on the post. Is there anything sexier than Davis on the post? Maybe Margot Robbie, but that's it. It's a close one, people. It's like that. You know what I mean? MG writes in, decent result. Good to see Wright get a start and a goal. No fan of Bakuna. I felt he had a few pure passes and shout out of winning the ball back. Interesting way to go, especially as the next one underneath that is from Giovanni Tennant's Horse. He writes in, Bakuna is prime nanny. Different points of view in itself. And the last two or three that we'll read out come from GMA 1970. He writes in, great point, played well against a good team. And the last one we'll read out, we'll scroll nearer to the bottom to give everyone a chance. Comes from King Kamara, and he writes in, fair outcome, could have gone either way with the game at the end, and that's probably the best way to actually summarise and end this game off. And that's all I've really got to say about the game of football, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I don't think anyone played bad in itself or anything. I think everyone had a decent game, but nothing really popped out to me overall in the actual match. But again, that's just my opinion. I would love to know what you're thinking down there in the old comment section below. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I've been CJNova92. That has been a sleepy Rocky Boy Johnson. Take care of yourselves, everyone. All the best, and bye-bye.